Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this Monday morning's espresso shot. Hopefully, we can kickstart your week today. And let us begin first with heart-focused breathing technique. We'll spend 5 minutes here, and then we'll dive deep into the topic of the day. So let us begin to place our awareness in the area of our heart, taking slow, deep breaths. And experience these breaths flowing in and out of your heart, breathing a little slower, a little deeper than you normally would, and see if you can slow your body system down. See if you can slow your breathing down even more. And just take deeper, gentler breaths and draw them in as if it's flowing into your heart. Notice the rising of peace from within, and just experience this bliss. Just keep your awareness in the area of the heart. That'll maintain presence for you. Be here, be now, in this present moment. And when you focus on the heart area, it allows you to be present. So maintain the focus there. It's only a few minutes. Let's do this. Wonderful. Once again, thank you so much for joining me this morning. Let us now take a moment and explore for the next 5 minutes the concept of free will or predestination. Again, I was coaching somebody this weekend, and she was going through this conundrum. And what she said to me was that I can never find a job for myself. Wherever I look, I get a blockage. Jobs don't turn out for me. I get rejected. So she is was firmly in the belief that her life was predestined. So I asked her, I said, do you feel expanded when you experience this? And she says, absolutely not. I said to her, I said, when we give up like this and we say, you know what, I'm predestined never to find a job. I'm predestined never to find joy in my life, whether that is through financial freedom or it is through family connections or through people or relationships or even finding a job, a meaningful expression of life. Whenever you say that I'm predestined never to be happy in this way, we're becoming victims. And so the idea there is, are we as human beings predestined to a particular life? And no matter what we do or try, we can never escape from the thrusts of that predestination. Then the other argument is, well, we have free will. We can choose at this very moment to be who we are and to express how we express ourselves. And this this came to a head with her because I started asking her some questions. I said, so, do you feel like a victim? She says, yes. I said, okay, so you feel that you are stuck in a location that you can never get out of? She goes, yes. And I said, well, tell me, what's stopping you to move to another location? So she then tells me that her husband wants to spend take one more year before he wants to retire. So I said to her, well, isn't that free will? That's not predestination. It's a choice you're making every day in your life to stay where you are. What you are afraid of is the unknown. And so next time I ask you, my family here on Espresso Shot, that whenever you feel like giving up on life, and we've all been there, I've been there, we've all said, I'm not even going to bother doing this. I'm not even going to bother trying this. Just ask yourself, am I playing the victim? And when you're playing the victim, the universe gives you everything that you need to express yourself in that way. In other words, you are choosing to play a victim. And so if I were to convince you or try and inspire you to think about life as a series of choices, when something bad happens to you, ask yourself, do I have an energy field around me that is drawing these random occurrences to me? In other words, if you're swimming in an ocean and the wave is coming up at you and you're just kind of the victim of that wave, that's essentially because your energy field is not solidifying you. And so the question then becomes, what do I need to do to actually create my own life and to kind of manage all the ebbs and flows of everything else that's happening that's not in my control? And it's a simple thing that I'm made aware of, and I wanted to share with you. And that simple thing is this, that your perception of reality is essentially informing your biology. So in other words, things could be going crazy around you, but if you maintain that centeredness, if you practice the breathing technique that we do here and experience joy, just despite the kind of chaos that's going around you, but you just bring joy into your heart, you will become centered. You will be like in the center of that tornado. You'll be in that center of that tornado that's destroying everything around it, but in the center is where the stability is, where you're not really being jarred. And you want to be that. When life throws you curveballs, you want to be centered and you want to find your way out of the situation. And here's the key. To be centered, you actually have to make a free will choice. You have to choose to bring forward emotions that create joy in your heart, and your biology will not know the difference. When you are seeing something sad unfold before you and you bring in that feeling of compassion and ease in your heart. You choose to do that out of your free will, and the whole reality around you shifts. So I hope this has been informative, and everything that we do here, all the practices we do here, actually helps you center and create the life that you want, and it's a free will to do that. Do not play the victim. You're not predestined to something. You are only creating what you want to create and experiencing what you choose to create. And I hope this has been helpful. So now let us begin to practice the next level of breathing technique. This is where we bring in joy, love, compassion, and this is where we become the center of that tornado. So let us place our awareness in the area of the heart, taking slow, deep breaths, and experiencing these breaths flowing in and out of your heart, breathing a little slower, a little gentler than you normally would. And now, out of your free will, choose an emotion that best serves you. There's no judgment. Pick an emotion, and you can just imagine something and it'll make you smile. Bring that forward now. And then I want you to ask your body to elevate the intensity of that emotion. Your body will be able to do that. All you have to do is ask. So let us place our awareness in the area of the heart, taking slow, deep, gentle breaths, experiencing these breaths flowing in and out of your heart. And now experience gratitude, love, appreciation. Take a few breaths like this. Put a gentle smile on your face. Relax your facial muscles. This is meant to be relaxing, joyous, and free-flowing experience. See if you can take even deeper breaths and draw them in for a little longer period. And your exhalation should match the time you take to inhale as well. Make them symmetrical. Wonderful. Thank you so much for participating this morning for your 15-minute kickstart to your week. I'm happy to take questions, by all means, send them to me, type them in. And while you're typing in those questions, I just wanted to share with you, for Ignite members, I have your October webinar already and loaded up. It is it was my workshop in Italy that I did with Meliha, and there's some channeling there as well from the Star Mothers, as Meliha did that. So this is a wonderful experience I had in Rimini in October, and I wanted to share that with you. So you can access that if you're an Ignite member. The Teaching Wheel in April with my dear friend Dr. Amber Wolf, Monica Morani, and Lee Carroll, of course. If you want to be in Sedona in April, it's a wonderful time to be there. Join me and my family there. The Discovery Series, that's a 4-day intensive series. We've had many breakthroughs that I've seen in the workshops. We dive deeper into heart coherence. We dive deeper into self-reflection, self-development. And that's happening in beautiful Florida. All right, so questions. What questions do we have today? So Anne, thank you from Hawaii. Good morning to you. 2 heart focuses made me cry happily for no reason. It is so beautiful to be present in the presence of you all. Do we choose on other levels too, not only from our mental level? Well, of course, and when we choose, and that's it's a deep question that you ask. Thank you so much. When we're choosing, we're not the I in this body that you experience is made up of trillions of individual cells that are firing together and wiring together as a unity and as a community. So, if you have every cell in your body lined up with joy, compassion, gratitude, there's balance there. All the diseases will start withering away and you will begin to refresh. And this needs an intensity of emotion that we're experiencing right now. So when we're feeling this emotion, remember that the chemicals that are released as a result of these emotions flood into every cell in your body. So when you are choosing, you're choosing from deep interdimensional levels, including every cell in your body. So that is really why it's important for us when we feel deeply, we feel with high intensity, and that really allows us to shape our reality. I hope I've been able to answer that question if I understood it correctly. If not, type in a clarification and I'm happy to address that. Sue, thank you again from UK. As souls, do we design a certain path to experience certain things in our incarnation, or is it always free will? This was definitely something that the question that I was asked when I was doing the coaching with this person, and we were discussing how, well, on the one hand, many of us believe that we as light bodies, before we incarnated on Earth, that we chose a certain path. And I'd like to think of this, and there's no way of proving this, of course, but it's around whether this resonates with you at the deepest level. If it resonates with you and you feel connected to a particular kind of paradigm, then likely that's some place you want to explore. But no one can tell you exactly the truth because we don't have any scientific equipment to measure it. But I can say this, that when we were on the other side, and one school of thought is that we decided the potentials of what we were going to experience. And so we stacked the deck in so many ways that we could experience life with certain forces. So for example, I had a recent numerology reading, and I'm told that in my particular stacking the decks, what I chose to come in was I chose to experience exploring the depths of mysticism, and that was going to drive my every being. And so in order to do that, I would be put in a family situation where certain experiences would happen, so that it would keep driving me and propelling me to find out more about my own challenges, my own spirituality. And the people that I encountered through the family relations were the ones who actually prodded me and made me think differently. And if it weren't for my meeting with them, then I would not be allowed to explore that. And so when we think about this, is that think about you choosing and stacking the deck in a certain way so that you are going to have a high probability of experiencing what you said you would experience. Now, having free will, I truly believe that I can shift that. I can shift that right here, right now, by just intending to say, nah, it's not what I want to do. I want to do something different. And I can point my radar somewhere else, and I can breathe it in, and I experience it. And whatever I feel, and whatever I experience, and whatever I fantasize, and if it's a deep level of appreciation, gratitude, and just experiencing the future in the now, is where I will be taken to. It may not be a very easy path, but it'll be a path that I can do. You know, how many times have you just been so stubborn that you want to go in this direction, even though every aspect of you and everything that's you're struggling uphill, but you get there? And that's really what this is all about. It's really you've chosen a certain path over there. You can call it predestiny, but predestiny is not about I am going to always live in poverty, for example, if that's one of your things. It's not about that. It's about I am always going to experience a simple life. And then you can experience a simple life with a gazillion dollars in the bank. You can choose to experience a simple life. As long as you release that connection between poverty and predestination. Because the predestination part says, and I want to live a simple life. And the only way to stack the deck against you doing anything else other than experiencing simple life is to keep you in the poor. And if that's the case, then you'll experience a simple life because you're forced to. But once you explode out into that expanded space and you say to yourself, okay, maybe it's a simple life I want to lead. It doesn't matter how much money I have, I'm going to lead a simple life. Then all the other things open up to you. So that is really my particular perspective on this. And I hope you can take some of this and kind of not ruminate, but explore it in your own way. And so there's more coming through. Thank you, Anne. A good way of understanding my question. You're welcome. Joyce, when I ask for my body to enhance my emotion of bliss, this is my first teaching of asking for this. She said, oh my God, I was flooded with laughter and squeals of delight. Thank you, Shamir. I will add this to my heart-centered breathing experience. Yippee. That's exactly right, Joyce. And people don't believe me. I was at the university teaching a bunch of engineers. And this was, I was doing a leadership training with them. And when I said to them, I want you to give your body permission to experience a higher level intensity of emotion, they kind of looked at me funny. I did get some comments on the but I don't care. I'm an engineer, and I don't care if I sound woo-wish to them, but this stuff works. So thank you, Joyce, for allowing that to happen. From Sue, thank you. It makes so much sense. It makes me smile to know that we are all in different time zones and yet all come together now. Likewise here, you are my global family, and I truly appreciate the connection that I have with all of you. And I truly look forward to seeing you each and every week and chatting with you. Of course, you can send me emails, and I'm happy to respond. I may be a little bit behind. I'm trying to still catch up, but hopefully we'll see you next week, and we'll connect with you then. All right? So have a wonderful rest of the week, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care for now. Bye-bye.